Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing a full face of the most affordable makeup in my collection. So all of this totals up to around $45, which is pretty insane considering how expensive drugstore products are these days. So I'm pretty sure everything I'm going to talk about today is under $5. There's only one product that's $6. And of course, it always depends on where you buy them. Some retailers are cheaper than others when it comes to drugstore. Why is that, by the way? I feel like high-end makeup just has a price. No matter where it's sold, it's the same. But when it comes to drugstore products, I feel like you pay a lot more at CVS or Ulta, and then if you get it at Target or Walmart, it's way cheaper. I don't know why, but either way, I'm going by the lowest price that I found online for each product, and of course, that doesn't include sales and discounts and things like that, which the drugstore always has going on. So before we dive in, if you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and also if you like honest and unsponsored makeup content that focuses on drugstore and more affordable, but I also talk about high-end as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. Okay, so I usually start out my looks with brows because I normally do my brow gel first and I wait to let it set and then I go back in and fill in my brows once it's dried. So I kind of like to give that a few minutes. So I'm gonna start out with my brow gel, which is the Got To Be Glued. This is actually for hair, but I bought this after hearing kind of a hack a while ago. I mean, it was like years ago now where people were using this on their brows. And it is the strongest hold brow gel you will ever come across. And this huge tube is $5. I've had it for a year and I think I'm down to maybe like here in the tube. So there's still all this to go. It's literally gonna last me for years and years. So it's probably the best $5 I've ever spent, honestly. You just need a little spoolie brush and you just kind of squeeze a little bit of this out. Sometimes I put it on the back of my hand. Sometimes I'll even just take the spoolie and kind of like squeeze some out and just grab it from the tube like that. Either way, so I'm just gonna dip my spoolie brush in and then brush my brow hairs up. Like I said before, this has incredible hold. It's even stronger than something like the Anastasia Brow Freeze. So if you're looking for a really affordable alternative to that, this is amazing. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let that set down and then we'll move on to foundation. I'll come back and fill them in later. So there are a couple of really inexpensive foundations in my collection. I would have to say my favorite is the one from Believe Beauty. This is a $5 foundation and it's so similar to the Haus Labs Triclone foundation. It has a really similar light to medium coverage. It has a satin finish that's not too glowy or dewy and it's not a flat matte. So it really just looks so skin-like and so natural. Believe Beauty is sold at Dollar General stores. You can't get it online, unfortunately. So if you're looking for another $5 option, other ones that I would recommend are the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I love this stuff. It's such a good tinted moisturizer. I actually think it's more like a BB cream because it has a little bit more coverage than your average tinted moisturizer. Also, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation is $5, and that one comes in the regular version and also a dewy version. So depending on your skin type, that could be another really good one to try for $5. And also the new Relove Super Serum Foundation from Makeup Revolution I've really been loving as well, and that is $5. So if you can't get your hands on the Believe Beauty foundation, those are just a couple of additional options. Okay, so I just pumped a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna put this on, kind of put a couple dots all over my face, and then we're just gonna blend with my Kaleidos sponge. Okay, so you can see how gorgeous this looks on the skin up close. It really looks so natural. And because this foundation dries down all the way, on my dry skin, I don't need to set it with powder. I feel like powder products blend beautifully on top of this without having to set it. So it's just an absolutely beautiful formulation, and it's one of my most reached for foundations in my collection. Even though I have a lot of high-end foundations and other drugstore options, I just go back to this one over and over again because it gives that very natural look that just looks looks like your skin, but at the same time, it has great coverage. And fun fact, Believe Beauty is actually owned by the same parent company as Flower Beauty. So if you like Flower Beauty's products, I think you'll probably like these as well. Next up, when it comes to concealer, I have a $2 option that honestly blew my mind when I first tried it. This is the LA Colors Conceal It, and I also got this one at Dollar General. I'm not sure if you can get this online somewhere. If you can, I'll go ahead and be sure to link it down below. But again, it's one of my most reached for concealers, which is crazy. It just looks so natural, even up close. It doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, and it gives my dry under eyes the perfect amount of hydration. At the same time, it has great coverage, and it really helps to brighten up the eye area and hide any discoloration. I wouldn't say it's like a completely full coverage. It's probably like a medium coverage concealer, but I'm always completely blown away by this every time I try it. So I'm just gonna put a little on the back of my hand and also pick it up with my sponge, and I'm just gonna press it into my under eye area. I usually kind of start by the outer edge of my eye. I don't like to put a lot on the underside just because that's where I have my lines. I just like to concentrate the bulk of it on the outer corner where I have a lot of discoloration, and then just kind of bring it in. All right, so you can really see a big difference between this eye and this eye. It's just so much brighter over here, and I'll zoom you guys in quick so you can see what this looks like close up. And like I said before, it's just so natural looking under the eyes for this much coverage. I was really surprised when I first tried it because a lot of concealers tend to look cakey on me or sink into the fine lines under my eyes, and this one just looks so smooth and beautiful. So it's a very impressive formulation. If you're not able to find this one, another really good one that's only a couple dollars more, I think it's around $4, is the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. That one is just as good as this one. I feel like I had similar results with it. It's very brightening under the eyes and it dries down very fast, so I didn't experience any kind of creasing with it, yet at the same time, it was hydrating enough that it didn't make my under eyes look cakey. So I really love that one as well. It's just gonna run you a couple of dollars more than this one. Okay, so my brows are dry. I'm gonna go ahead and fill those in now, and I've been loving brow pens lately over pencils. I always used pencils in the past, but now I just feel like a pen gives you so much more of a natural result. Pencils can be finicky if your skincare is a little bit more on the greasy side that day. They don't want to stick to your skin. And depending on the pencil you use, sometimes you have to use a lot of pressure and it can kind of mess things up. So a pen like this with a felt tip is just so much easier for me. I just feel like it draws those hair-like strokes without having to put any pressure. You just kind of flick your wrist really quickly and it looks really, really natural. So I normally use the NYX Lift and Snatch pen, which is $12, so it's a bit more on the expensive side, but I did find, at your suggestion, actually, the Milani Weekend Brow Pen, which is pretty much identical to the NYX one, and this is $8. It's a lot cheaper, and actually I know I said that the most expensive product in today's video was $6. I forgot about this one. It's actually $8. So this one is in the shade 120 Soft Brown, and just like the NYX pen, it has that really skinny felt tip that's not a stiff felt tip. It kind of wiggles back and forth. It's really more like a brush tip, and it gives the most natural hair-like strokes. The only issue that I have with the Milani one is I got it in the completely wrong shade. This is way too light and way too reddish. I have more ashy colored brows and they're a lot darker. So unfortunately, I was gonna use this today in the video, but I'm not gonna be able to because once I swatched it, I was like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. But luckily, I'm still gonna be under the $50 mark because when I added in the Milani brow pen, I was at $45 and this one is $4 more. So using the next one, I'm gonna be at $49. We're cutting it really close, but sadly this one doesn't even show up in this color. It's funny because it says soft brown, but it really looks more like a blonde pen or even auburn. So anyway, let's go ahead with the NYX. So what I like about putting the brow gel first is that I have my brows in the exact shape that I want. So now I can just go in and fill in the little blank areas that I see. Then I just take a spoolie and just lightly blend the pen into my brows. And that's it. It just makes it really, really quick and easy. So I'm just gonna do the other one really quick. All right, so hopefully these are even. I'm terrible at matching my brows, but that's because my brows themselves aren't even, so it is what it is at this point. All right, let's go ahead and move on to eyeshadow. So there's a couple of different eyeshadow options that are really, really affordable. Today I'm gonna be using one of the Essence 6-pan palettes. These are $4, but there are also the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. Hard Candy has little mini palettes as well that are all around the $3 mark. So there are still some really good affordable options under $5, but I personally like these Essence ones. I like having 6 colors to choose from instead of just the 4. It just tends to make them a little bit more versatile. You can get more than just one look out of them. So today I'm gonna be using I Like to Mauve It, and I'm gonna pick up this rosy tan shade right here to use on my crease, and I'm using my Jen Phelps crease brush from my Doll 10 brush collection, which is still available, so I'll go ahead and leave that down below. And guys, like, look at how pigmented that is already. I'm actually gonna wipe off the brush a little bit because that was super intense. So on a quick side note, I feel like there's always a raging debate every time I mention the word mauve or mauve here on my channel. It happened in my last video. I called it mauve and I got a comment saying, you know, I looked it up and it's not mauve like that rhymes with stove. It's mauve and you're saying it wrong. But every time I would say mauve in a video, I would get people correcting me and saying, no, it's mauve. So I did some research and mauve is actually a French word, but the American pronunciation is mauve because we say the AU like the ah sound. And really, if you need any further proof, just look at the names of products that have this word in them, because I like to mauve it doesn't really make sense. It's I like to mauve it, like that sounds like the song. I don't know, to be honest, I don't care whether people say mauve or mauve. It doesn't really matter, especially if you're in America. I feel like it's pretty accepted to say mauve and people know what you're talking about. It's just that I think because I have international viewers that say mauve and I have American viewers that say mauve, there's always a debate going on. So anyway, I just figured I would mention it because I was using the word in this video and I didn't want the comment section to blow up again and have the language police coming after me again. So hopefully that settles everything. Let's move on. I'm gonna pick up this darker shade right here in the middle and use this on the outer corner of my eye. I'm just gonna pat this on with my finger and then I'll probably blend it a little bit with a brush. And this shade does have a little bit of like a satin finish. It's not super shimmery, but I'm using it kind of as I would a matte just to deepen the outer corner. And I'm still gonna use my Jen Phelps brush and just kind of blend this out. All right, and then for my lid, I'm just gonna pick up this lighter purple shade right here. And again, just gonna pat this on with my finger. Oh my gosh, I forgot how gorgeous this color is. One of the reasons I love this palette is because it's not a bright purple palette. It's more of like those dustier purple tones, almost like a grayish purple. It's just so pretty. Okay, so moving on to mascara, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. So this is $6, which is really affordable. I feel like most mascaras these days are at least 10 bucks, if not like somewhere between 10 and 15. If you don't have e.l.f. Lash and Roll, another really good option would be Essence Lash Princess, which is $5. Actually, I think most of Essence's mascaras are $4.99, so they definitely have some really affordable options as well. This one I really like because it doesn't smudge on me, and while I love the way that Lash Princess makes my lashes look, it tends to smudge and give me raccoon eyes at the end of the night, so that's the one thing that I really don't like about it. But not every Essence mascara smudges on me, so there are definitely a bunch of options available, and this one is a really good dupe for roller lash. I actually have a whole video comparing this one to the Benefit one, and this one gave me the exact same results, which was amazing. All right, so as you can see, this gives so much length and volume, so I really enjoy this formula. I honestly think it's the best one that e.l.f. has done to date, so if you haven't tried Lash and Roll yet, I think you'll probably really like it. Let's move on to face products. So for bronzer, I have the LA Colors bronzer in the shade Beachy. I love this one because it has a really rosy undertone and it gives my skin the same color that it turns when I go out in the sun and get maybe just like a little bit of a sunburn under my tan. So I really love this one. It also comes in a ton of other colors on the LA Colors website. It's $5, but if you can't get your hands on this one for some reason, there are other $5 bronzers that I really like. There are the Wet n Wild Color Icon ones. Those also come in many different shades. And the Essence Sun Club bronzer as well is another really huge pan like this, and it's very, very similar. So I'm just gonna apply it with my favorite bronzer brush. This is the Sigma Ultimate Bronze F78. I just love this bronzer so much. It makes me look like I just went on vacation. So next up for blush, I was originally going to use one of the e.l.f. bite-sized duos, but I was looking through them. All of the ones that I have are more on the warm tone side, so I really wanted to wear something cool toned with this eye look. So I'm going to be wearing the Essence The Blush in the shade Believing. So this is just the most beautiful mauve or mauve pink shade, and it's a little bit kind of on the dustier pink side, so I think it's going to go really well with the lavender eye look. But if you're looking for really inexpensive, around $3 blushes, these are incredible. They come in so many different colors. Also, again, the e.l.f. bite-sized cheek duos, and those come with a highlighter. And Relove from Makeup Revolution has something very similar to the e.l.f. also for $3, and those are even larger pan sizes. So those are just a few more $3 options, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my Jen Phelps blush brush for this one. And just gonna apply this right to the apples of my cheeks. This is so pretty, and it's just like the perfect blush because it's not too overly pigmented. It's buildable, so you can definitely go in and just add a little bit more if you want to, and it blends effortlessly on your cheeks. Like, look at how beautiful that is. It's so seamless. I just love this color so much, and it's been a while since I've used it, but I'm just falling in love with it all over again. So, all right, those are the face products. Let's move on to lips, and I'm gonna be using a $2 lipstick that is so brilliant. It's so perfect. It's the Wet n Wild Mega Last Shine lipstick in the shade Mad for Mauve, or Mauve, there's that word again. One of you guys told me about these actually, and I was so impressed. I still have to go back to Amazon and get a few more shades because this is just the most beautiful formula. If you have drier lips, it has such a hydrating feel, almost like a balm, but it has the pigment of a lipstick, and this color is just gorgeous. It's the perfect pink. It just goes with this look so well. If you don't like a more hydrating lipstick or you want something more long lasting, Wet n Wild does have regular Mega Last lipsticks that are also inexpensive. I know Essence also has some really affordable lipsticks, as well as the brand Relove over at Walmart from Makeup Revolution. Their little $2 or $3 lip gloss that I tried recently was so good. I actually want to get more shades of that as well. So there we have it, a full face for just under $50. And I know drugstore has gotten really expensive, but there are really, really good hidden gems at the drugstore for less than $5. So even though we went a little bit over with the brows, that was actually the most expensive part of my face, funny enough. Almost everything else was $5 or less, which I think is incredible. And all of these products are amazing, and I definitely recommend them all. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, especially if you've tried any of these. I'd love to hear your opinion. It's always super helpful for the viewers to hear other opinions besides just mine, especially if you might have a different skin type or tone. So I always welcome the discussion down in the comments section. Again, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button before you go. And if you're interested in viewing some more of my content, I'll go ahead and just pop a playlist right up here, and you can check out some of my favorite videos that I've done recently. Thank you guys so much for watching and taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I really, truly appreciate it so much. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.